all this zone control coming in from Olivia, from Anya as well, and even from Goni, who's going to be able to use the explosive cars. And
we have some stick figure animation going on our screen. Just a little bit of beep up. Yep. Not sure what that was all about, but we have Doran Shield Star coming onto Olivia here. We have the Great Wall of China fan out coming in between.
Great Wall defense every game.
The fan wall. Everything's coming out. Nautilus here. Move that drill. Wants to drill through something. Vegas here. Running through the mid lane. That's a bit different.
Right, we might see a 2v1, but in the current meta is not probably the most effective early game strategy to go for, but it might work against a LeBlanc here, because what you want to do is kind of control him and make sure that he doesn't get as much map movement as he would want to. And next one might be able to... Sorry?
Flap.
Exactly, Flappy Bird.
So, can Yasuo use his ultimate on Anivia at any time he wants?
Because he's flapping?
She's in the air, I mean...
Well, it's going to be difficult to judge, to be honest.
Anivia's flying, so...
she's in the air.
You're in the air, I mean... Shouldn't his wind technique allow him to attack targets in the air with ease?
Well, wouldn't that be the same for Galio then? Because he's flapping his own wings as well.
Don't know about that one, but we're going to see how this bot lane takes place. Hallelujah, just going for the mana recall right now. I am a cow moo.
Let's see if SF5 is going to milk Hallelujah.
It was a great move by Vegas there, because if Jinx showed herself through that brush, he could have headbutted her into a wall there, and that would not have been good. See that? It comes a headbutt from Hallelujah. Just, I'm a cow moo. Gonna hit you once or twice, but Chronix takes a lot of damage from that. Doesn't return any at all to Jinx. He's actually gonna take a lot of damage from Fishbones coming out from Minas here, and Hallelujah running around with like a chicken with its head cut off, just taking free damage, and SGS bot lane has been really crippled right off the bat.
Wow, and I think that's the understanding for Vegas there, because he's just abusing the auto attack range coming in from that, and Minas as well using the Fishbones to extend the range to kick the poke down onto this SGS bottom lane, and Choi now.
Choi did a good job getting harassed in the mid lane, but still.
Yeah. This bottom lane is needing some help.
They need to stop taking this unnecessary harass. They cannot go in for minions right now. Losing a few minions, it's not the end of the world. It's bad for your lane, but it's not the end of the world. Now not only is Chronix behind in terms of minion score, but he's losing experience, and he's behind a ton of health. D9's going to come through this tri-bush here. It will relieve pressure from the bot lane of the Singapore Sentinels, but he's spotted by a ward. They won't be able to stop him. He's actually going to come in for the gank here, but Nautilus is nearby to try and get the counter gank off.
So far in the bottom lane, SF5 having all the little advantages that they need. And let's see if that's going to translate later on to the game as Jungleology now moving into the bottom lane.
Here we go. Mina's going to get stunned up. Nice pulverize coming in from Alistar, but they're going to run away from this one. Here comes the hook from... Whoa, nice flash coming out from Alia. Does get the hook connected. Next one are getting two chains. Not two chains, just one chains right now as it's only level 3, but it's a lot of damage coming out from that LeBlanc there. And that was a fantastic headbutt pulverize coming in from Hallelujah, and a great flash to get out there. Now, Vegas taking a lot of damage from that tower and boomerang blade combo coming in from Chronix, but still, this lane is still in favor of Saigon Fantastic 5 right now. D-Dan is trying his best to stick around this lane.
Right, Chronix has to watch his health over here. Should he make a mistake, then he will definitely go down. Yeah, and the wall coming in from Nixwater. And
look at this.
Finally, up in the top lane, we do see some action. And Goni now, he is the one being forced to sit at the back end here as Ben W now has something to say about
Crocodile's this just saying right now. Gragas, you belong in the mid lane. What are you doing here, boy? This is not your lane.
He's drunk, man.
It's not your lane. Come on. Go back home. And then we talk about it later, but for now, Renekton's actually doing a really good job against Gragas up top.
Right, so that's the other side to the coin now as we start to see the Renekton power coming in for the early game, but should Goni get some items ahead, then we might see a difference when it comes to scaling.
So right now in the bottom lane, Cryonics has lost an entire minion wave to Minas and Vigas here, but at least he's poised for a gank. This is going to be deadly for the Saigon Fantastic 5. They saw this coming way too late. D-Dan's going to come in, steps on the choppers, hits the stun onto Vigas, so he's going to get pulverized into a wall. Pulverize should come out very soon, but I thought they should have definitely tried to go for Minas there, just because Vigas still had his splash. Minas did not. If Elise avoided the choppers and walked around to try and get the stun off in a safer position, that could have been a headbutt pulverize coming up for Hallelujah, and that would have been all the damage they needed to take him down. Instead they went for Vigas, and the pulverize coming in from Hallelujah was way too late there. Way too late.
Well, nevertheless, that's 2 flash down on the side of SF5 in the bottom lane. So if D-Dan could make a repeat retreat down to the bottom lane, then they could possibly find themselves a kill. And in the meantime, Jungleology just went for some counter jungling on his own end. So he will go back now to finish up his Spirit Stone, get some ward, get some vision in as well. And it does look like there's a lot of focus for both teams down in the bottom lane as Cryonics once again taking some hurt, and he might choose to back off from there.
At least, however, even though Saigon Sentinels are going to lose a lot of minions due to this push that they have made into the tower of SF5, at least now they've relieved the pressure. They can head back to base, grab the items they need to sustain in lane. There we go. There comes the Vampiric Scepter, boots, and a potion coming out of Sivir. So they will be able to sustain in lane against the Sivir any lane and not fall behind as hard as they were before. Nixwater, I've got to hand it to him here. He's been playing very well against LeBlanc in the mid lane. We've seen him low a couple of times, but he's staying even in terms of minion score, relatively even, and doing a good job of not allowing Chloe to poke him down. Jungleology has done a good job of putting pressure on the lanes. He's put indirect pressure on bottom lane by showing his face here when D-Dan is around, and also has been able to show himself top lane to relieve pressure from Goni, who's been taken down quite a lot. Cryonics takes a lot of damage from the combined burst of Vigas and Nixwater and Minas there.
But I feel like the biggest focus for Singapore Sentinels would be in this bottom lane to try to somewhat help out Cryonics with this Burst KV SF5 combination. And for Choi himself, he is maxing out that distortion first. And in that sense, he has that finished codex completed on his own end. So you compare that to Nixwater, who now only has that.
Pulverize will come in for Hallelujah though. Sorry to cut you off there, Chris, but it looked like the cow was a bit angry.
He is angry as he goes for some action on his Minas there, but he does have that Vampiric Scepter, so he should be able to regen himself back up. So no problems for him at all. I feel like the next time SF5 wants to go for the fight is at level 6 when they get their ultimates out.
I feel so too, and right then will be where Hallelujah can make or break using the tankiness of his ultimate. Vigas here still taking a good Tibber stun down onto Cryonics. I feel like that's lights out for him.
Right, it might be the case for him there, as SF5 is poised to take one more team fight there, but I have to say Cryonics playing pretty well on his own end because he is keeping CS in check, despite the fact that level 1 he was harassed down so heavily to an extent he lost out on experience as well. There we go!
Going in at the top lane, Goni gets ignited and stunned up by Ben W, who popped that dominance. They're still going to chase. D-Net's going for this one. Chowie's coming as well. There goes the distortion. The chains will come out to Goni. The 2 chains will come out from LeBlanc, and First Blood will go to the Singapore Sentinels to D-Dan. 2 chains, my friend. 2 chains.
Looks like 2 chains is the way to go for this one. And looks like D-Dan will secure the kill for himself. But in the meantime, SF5 now knowing the positions of Singapore Sentinels there will go for the dragon in the meantime.
2 dragons? 2 chains, 2 dragons?
Well, we don't know about that, but that is going to be Hallelujah taking a whole ton of damage, and looks like Minas is going to have some beef to himself. As SF5 now going to take the dragon, so extra meat, extra gold all across the map.
Ribeye or Sirloin?
Maybe Wagyu or Kobe?
Prime Cut?
Well, you have to ask Hallelujah on that.
I don't know. Apparently you can milk those, so don't know about that call coming from Hallelujah there. He is tanky monster, but it's not level 6 quite yet. Not enough to tank through the damage coming in from Vegas and minus there. So Jungleology is rotating down to the bottom lane. There are no wards to spot this one out. Cryonics may actually be in a bit of trouble.
Right, we might see Jungleology just going into that one. Decides to kind of stand back on this one.
He can still do so.
Right, D-Dan is still around the area though, so
he's actually going to go in for it. Will he get the stun off onto Cryonics? He may have to pop the spell shield early. Does not. Will not be able to get the hook back though.
He does have the depth charge on his way though, so Choi now making a move down to the bottom lane. We might see a 4v3 engage over here.
Just waiting to see what takes place. Nothing happens between that rotation here, but Ben W was able to bully Goni early on. We see a nice pulverize coming from Vegas. Not Vegas, sorry for Hallelujah. Nice stun coming up with Tina. They will burst Vegas. Chris, did you press the delete button or was that me? I'm sorry.
I think Vegas just got deleted straight for it.
Remove from the map. Disappeared.
I just blinked my eye and Vegas was gone from the map. And that is the potential pick threat that we're talking about from this composition. And yeah, Singapore Sentinels need to really move around to get more of those. But so far they have been doing it pretty well. But props to Saigon Fantastic 5. They have pretty good responses as well, especially after the first one up in the top lane. And before that, Choi now going on to next water.
Pops the 2 chains, but only 1 chains will land there. So Choi will take a ton of damage in return. Next water not being a push around there. So on the bottom lane, Asuya finally getting a good amount of damage off. And in the top lane, Ben W just says, Goni, please, this is not your lane. Go back. Go back to mid lane. That's where you belong. I'm a crocodile. I live here. You don't.
But I guess in a sense for...
Could be an alligator though, then I have no comment.
Well, we'll have to see. I think it's one of the unresolved mysteries for League of Legends.
Maybe a panda?
Okay, maybe that's a little too far.
A little bit too far?
Yeah, just a little bit too far. But coming back into this one, Singapore Sentinels 1k ahead in terms of goal lead, 11 minutes in. Still a pretty close game, I would say, but in a sense, Singapore Sentinels really need to find more picks of their own source, just to say for the least. And for Choi now, he has that ridiculously large shot on his own, and look at that distortion damage. Gonna be able to clear out the way very quickly, but mixed water, no pushover as well, like you mentioned, has that Tear of the Goddess, and even it has the Shadow, so double mana regeneration.
You know what makes me sad though? Nivea doesn't want to build a snowman today. Gone for the eagle skin instead.
His flapping, man.
I don't know, I thought, you know, now's the mood to build snowmans, but...
Well, it is the spring season, so...
Mixed water doesn't want to build a snowman. I mean, that kind of makes me sad.
It is the spring season, so maybe building snowmen.
You said you can't build a snowman in the spring.
Well, it's entirely possible, but I guess not in the game so far.
Maybe we go build a snowman after. We can invite the cow. You can try and milk it, but you know you can't milk those anyway. In the game so far, not too much taking place between the two teams. We did see a dragon pick up by SF5 early on. Goni's actually not doing too hot in the top lane. Chao is coming in for a gank here. This is the distortion. The chain will not hit.
Whoa.
Jumps back. 2 chains will hit though. Goni now being locked down. Ben W getting a lot of damage off of his ultimate. Goni may try to jump over the wall. Is not able to do so. There's a stun coming out onto Vegas. Jungleology flashes in for the hook, gets onto D-Dan. That's not the person you want to be going on to, because now Chronix has free damage onto Vegas. He'll get taken down. Super Mega Death Rocket was used. Now the jungle Nautilus in the loud jungle. The cow is just saying, moo, moo, moo. Don't you run from me, boy. He's going to get the headbutt pulverize off. No, he will not. Instead, turns his focus onto Minus. He's just going to walk next to him, get as close as he can. Oh, what are you doing? Hallelujah.
Well, he could just go for the pulverize. A little misplay coming in from there.
He just had to hit the ground, walk forward, knock him back. Instead, he wanted to be a little fancy and, you know, didn't have his dancing shoes on today.
That is not his day. This is just showing that it's not his day today. But something else that I want to comment on is Choi up in the top lane with that kill over Goni over there. A great show of his mechanics there. He kind of anticipated the fact that Goni would use that explosive cast to disengage. Instead, he just used that distortion to get back into range, get that second chain in, and then that resulted in the kill for him. So 1-0-1 has the Deathfire grasp completed on his own end. He is scaling pretty well to be the assassin.
And we'll get a pause.
We will get a pause, a breather for us to look at the game.
So, looking at the game, I see Grags in the top lane not doing too hot.
Yeah, so looks like the unmovable Gragas, the fat man up in the top lane, is not really immortal like we kind of expected him to.
Not as immortal as we expected there, but a very niche pick. Strong plays from the Vietnamese teams that have been playing him so far, and
Well,
it has to be respected by these teams, and SGS are doing a very good job of understanding that top Gragas is the threat, and Ben W can't take that unless you see Lixwar gets taken out so low. Barrier is popped. Will it be enough? The last tick will turn him into Agnivia. He's just gonna cry and say, "Water, water, water."
well, he's gonna come back to life in that one.
I'm a bird. He just comes back and says, "I'm a bird. You will not take me alive."
But Didan is just
Maybe
right
it's Spider
around the
though.
counter. Yeah.
Arachnophobia, maybe?
I don't know. Isn't it common to see spiders eat birds sometimes?
I know birds eat spiders, but
Oh, it's the other way around then.
yeah, other way around.
Okay.
But D-Dan has spidey senses. Come on.
It's a spider sense, man.
Spidey senses, I mean.
He's able to shoot webs
Spot
as
the
well.
hawk from a mile away.
Yeah.
If Nick Swatter wanted to build a snowman, it would have been a different story, but today he just doesn't want to.
Well, he's building up the stacks on the Kirito, so
Tears collected from his enemies that have not been crying just yet, so he really needs to spam those abilities a little bit more to stack up that tier here. Vegas, on the other hand, does have his stun ready. Could start to play at any time he feels like. Dragon is back out. We should see a contest for this incredibly soon. Unfortunately for SF5, because they've made so many picks onto Goni up in the top lane, his tower is down. So Renekton can come down for this dragon and not miss out on anything. Goni will come down and miss out on pushing top lane, falling behind in terms of experience and gold.
that's right.
Ben W has made the rotation first, and Nick Swatter gets bursted down. Ben W was here to try and get something off. Nick Swatter gets bursted. Remember, he has no egg now. As he bottom lane, Vegas gets knocked up. He's gonna get bursted so low. Dina's gonna jump in onto him because Chronix is the target. He's gonna have to flash away. Super Mega Dive is blocked by the cow. Hook City gets him and he gets taken down. Hook City population right now is Chronix. As you do see, Dina gets a nice stun down onto Minus here.
Whoa.
Here comes Ben W. Chow. He's a big kill to the bird. Here goes Minus. He's getting taken down. Juggle, he says, "My friends, you have died. I will try to avenge you, but I do not have the tools to do so."
Right, that was a big play coming in from Hallelujah there to get a two-man pulverize and then knocking.
And he blocked the Super Mega Death Logger. That was important.
Yeah.
Almost. If Chronix was able to live, but he was not, sadly, it would have been a really good play. Hallelujah.
But nevertheless, SGS was able to come up ahead in that skirmish down the bottom lane, and that will translate to the Dragon as well because there's just too many members of SGS to respond to that.
We'll see a replay of the Anivia's death. So let's just see what happened here. Chowie's waiting in the brush, jumps in onto Anivia, jumps back out, 2 chains, and then Chowie dies.
Right, and Goni did not hit the explosive cast as well, so...
So, 2-2, explosive cast miss. I mean, common trend among these Gragases. We did see the huge air ball from Shinya today.
Yeah, so that was kind of a pity as well, and...
Peter of the air ball.
Yeah...
They're not really Michael Jordan, you know?
Well, it happens sometimes, but
you need to practice your free throws in big games like this. I mean, free kill, just pop that ultimate, done deal. You know, you can't miss those clutch free throws. Practice missing, you miss in the game.
Well, I guess in the sense,
100% of the spears that you don't throw.
Yeah, that's the all-important code that Hotshot GG has taught us.
But shouldn't you miss 100% of the cast? Nah, I mean, you missed that, man. You just missed one early on in the game today. Instead, we're gonna see back in the bottom lane, Saigon percent still trying to push onto the tower of the Saigon Fantastic 5. They do have about a 4,000 gold lead ahead of them. So they have a comfortable lead going into 20 minutes in the game. However, they still have to work for this win here. Goni has to manage to pick up that Sunfire Cape and the Optimus Prime coach. No, cloak. I mean Negatron cloak, sorry.
Yeah, the Negatron cloak coming
Wrong
in.
transformer.
Wrong guy.
That was
lost
that
translation
the
there.
Negatron's the bad guy, I forgot, you know. Optimus, good guy.
Exactly.
Precisely. So Goni has picked up those two items, fairly tanky. Renekton has managed to pick up a Warden's Mail on top of what Renekton has. So he will be on top of what Goni has, sorry. So he will be slightly tankier than Gragas for the time being, and because I do feel that Renekton has a more relevant hit for a top laner than Gragas does, he will have some displacement, slow, and damage, but Renekton will be able to lock down somebody, get some good AoE damage, and be incredibly tanky. I still feel like he'll control this mid game. It'll only be later on when Gragas starts getting more items that he'll be more relevant to the team.
So the $1 million question here is, throughout
You want to build a snowman?
No, well that's probably like the $10 question. But the
I didn't know it was that cheap. Come on.
But okay, I mean for Singapore Sentinels especially, as how you get spotted out with the Zap there. My $1 million question for Singapore Sentinels is, when is the opportunity, when is the timing where they want to start grouping up? Because with the entirety of the last split in the winter season, they are pretty comfortable with the strategy of kind of pushing down one of the side lanes and then grouping up in the mid lane or just moving into another lane.
Changes in the land here for Chowie though. He's gonna get taken out so low by Nixwater. Bullying this a block. There goes that Frost will not hit anybody though, and the clone will just disappear. But to answer your question, now is where SGS needs to split up. If you remember the last season, Chowie was playing AD carry, and his style of play was I push one lane for this whole game, the rest of you group, and when I'm strong enough, I will join you guys. And I'll try and outplay people 2-on-1, you try and beat them 4-on-3. Now that we put Chronix back, well, now that Singapore Sentinels have put Chronix back on the AD carry position, he's more of a consistent AD carry who likes to farm up early, group with the team, play efficiently and as good as he can in team fights, and then he's done his job. He's not a clutch or playmaker yet. If Singapore Sentinels group up now, while Chowie is ahead, while Ben W has managed to take down this top tower, and D-Dan is doing well in the jungle, they should be able to force the team fights and get the picks they need on the top lane. Ben W here, he's in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the Cocoon coming from D-Dan. Nixwater's over on the side, puts the wall down, but Goni's getting taken out so low. Repel will come out from Ben W. Not Ben W, but D-Dan, sorry. And Goni will live with a sliver of health. Ben W now actually going down really low. D-Dan actually does get shut down. Here comes Alistar. Nice knockup coming from him. Chowie would come in. Double kill will go to the Nazo. 2 chains onto Anivia, who will get Anivia. Will they be able to take him down? The Angry Cow just beating down onto him. Chronix gonna get taken down in this bottom lane, a 2-on-1 situation. They will take down that Anivia on the top lane, but
Hallelujah will die. Yeah, so
will die.
It's a sacrificial pack to get the bird down as well.
4 for 2 trade. I don't think Singapore Sentinels really wanted that right there.
Yeah, so in a sense, Saigon Fantastic 5, they had a great read on what was going to go up in the top lane. And overall, they just traded 4 for 2. It's not exactly the best position where they wanted to be. So Saigon Fantastic 5, they will shrink that goal advantage for SGS now to only about a 2,000 goal difference.
So if you saw there as well, what really went wrong for the Singapore Sentinels and what SF5 did well was SGS got caught under the tower. D-Dan took one too many tower hits, and they couldn't finish Goni off. If they destroyed Goni, then focused Nautilus down, there would be nothing Nick Swatter could have done. However, what happened was Goni got away, and when they were trying to take down Nautilus, D-Dan took one or two tower hits, and now Vegas is getting taken down so long. The Alistar's coming, headbutt, all rights taken down. Minus down a lot of trouble. The flash will come out. D-Dan has a lot of damage. He just has to chase this guy around. Throw a few more auto attacks. Here comes the cow. He will say, moo, 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 up in the air. You go in a second, and that will be a done deal for Minus.
Right, so Cryonix will pick up the kill by himself, and now Choi is in a bit of trouble. Jungleology will zoom him out for that little bit. Next one is right around the area. Now Ben comes in from the back.
Gets a stun off onto Jungleology. He might actually get hooked back here if he's not careful enough. Here comes the body set coming from Goni. Alistar's coming from the back. He may be able to kick somebody into the rest of the team. There goes the Pulverize. Ben taking a lot of damage, standing into that Arctic circle that the Vivian has put out. Cryonix is joining the team. Goni's getting taken out too low. 2 chains onto Goni. He will get taken down by Cryonix. SGS will be able to push this mid lane because of that click.
Getting the blink
Angry
on,
Cow, he moved.
Yeah, forget about Angry Birds. Angry Cow is what Hallelujah is here tonight. And SGS will take down the mid lane turret. They will be happy with that. They will choose to back off. So, you know, just as I mentioned, SF5 closing out the goal gap.
Bye-bye, Vegas. Chowie's coming in. He wants to say something to you. It's not enough. Boomerang Break will just barely miss. Chowie lives with a sliver of health. The Arctic being placed down by him will be enough to pick him off.
Chowie almost had the outplay there, using the clone to block out the Super Mega Death Rocket, but the damage overall coming in from Nick Swatter there will be able to secure the kill there, as he is now sitting at a 2 kills to death, just balancing it up a bit, but now he has that needlessly large rod. Might go for Cryonix there.
Nice. Just walking back in, taking that blast in the face, using the spell shield to block that stun and damage that would have came out of that ability. Ben W is really strong right now. He's going to be able to do really well, but now Minus in a really tough position. Cryonix going to duel him out. There goes the Chompers. Will not be able to lock him down. Cryonix will actually pick up the kill. D-Dan will be able to run down and pick that one up with him. Going now. Big tank he is now, but I still feel Renington, until about the 40-minute mark, will have a bigger impact.
Because Goni hasn't been doing too well. If he had that early game start, I would say that Ben W might not be doing so well, but just because of the fact that Ben W was able to keep him in check, that's the whole reason why we see that Ben W is just so far ahead in terms of items. One entire Reverend Omen ahead of him.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we do have the Sentinels trying to shove it up and take down that first tier tower. Chowie is poised nearby, and Jinx, being played by Minus here, are also waiting nearby. There's no ward in the brush that Hallelujah was just in, so they have no idea that he's waiting. And now that he's walked over red buff, they have a slight idea. They do not know Chowie is here, so now they will spot out that he walks through this ward. There goes the zap, will hit Chowie. That's a lot of damage.
That's right, so Chowie kind of has to watch his position just for that little bit, but the entire team of SGS will be there to back him over there. You see how you make the play happen. The Chompers to kind of just zone him out and
pick up that red buff though. That will be going over onto Jinx. Super Mega Death Rocket!
Not gonna hit. Chowie.
No.
Nope.
SMD fail.
Just a little bit too far. I think kind of misread that. Well, sometimes you have to give it. Yeah, you just need to let the rocket go. It does look like Singapore Sentinels now, they will choose to back off. So SF5 will have some time to regroup for themselves and figure out what the next strategy. But Singapore Sentinels still sitting at a 4,000 goal lead here.
That's a lot of gold.
Well, we are almost approaching the 30-minute mark, so...
That is a lot of gold though. You know, I could build a few snowmen for that.
Golden snowmen?
Maybe not. I want, you know, just nice ice blue snowmen as we see SF5 take down this tower, but golden snowmans, come on.
Yeah.
It's too much.
So Dragon is coming up again, so we might see SGS once again going for it. And the thing about SF5 is that despite the fact that they haven't been able to find the picks that they want to, get the kills that they need, but they are still keeping the turret count in check. So
what does the Nivea do with boots? As you see an engage coming into Hallelujah, pops his ultimate straight away. Tanky Cow will be able to get out of this one. There goes the Timber Stun. That's a lot of abilities used on that outsider who pulverizes the air for absolutely no reason. Junkology getting taken out solo. D-Dan now getting taken out really has to repel out of that situation. Chowie's down the sidelines looking to try and assassinate someone. Ben W's all up into Minus face. There goes Chowie. Fantastic knocker coming from Hallelujah, hitting 3 people on the side of Saigon Fantastic. Super Mega Dot Rocker will not be able to take out Hallelujah, who is incredibly low. He's trying to bait out SF5 to put some damage onto it. Nautilus is trying to come back into the fight. Guy's getting taken out so low. He will live the fight though.
Wow.
That is a 4. Not 4, sorry, a 3 for 1 trade in favor of the single percentile. A very close fight for them and very clutch. Everybody in SGS is less than 10% health right now.
Right. Someone call in the Cars Express to press that requiem here, but unfortunately that's not the case for SF5 over here. And in the event that Minas had that Super Mega Death Rocket, he could make the cleanup happen. So in a sense, SGS come up on top in that one. And I have to comment on Hallelujah once again. This is going to be the first time that we've seen him on the support role ever since the roster changes. And I have to say, he is making very good plays, letting those 2-man, 3-man pulverizers. And, you know, we didn't manage to see the focus there, but he has been sidestepping some of the skill shots that SF5 was just throwing at him, and he manages to survive.
So we're going to have to see what the 2 teams do here next. Single percentages are still in the lead, but SF5 have shown the past few fights have been incredibly close. Here comes Hallelujah, gonna go for that pulverized headbutt, misses everyone. We'll get a dragon for that though. Chowie did manage to burst down Vigorous quite a bit. Nautilus will get the hook off onto Hallelujah, pops his ultimate straight away once again. This may be a fight again. Vigorous is still incredibly low. The stun will hit Hallelujah and D-Dan. Here comes Chowie, gets the damage down onto Vigorous, who gets taken down. Now Ben W wants to go and pops that Dominus. Stun goes down to Junkology. The wall may come out from Anivia very soon. Slice comes in. Where is that dice to get extra damage? But Chowie will get taken down. Now Goni's in a lot of trouble. He's really low. Should be able to be taken out by the Single Percentile, but no, Christ will get shut down here. D-Dan is trying to stun up the rest of SF5. Single Percentiles do not look good in this fight. There goes the repel, but double kill will go to Anivia. Next water on Anivia there, and only Hallelujah, the man who was initiated on, will survive that fight. SGS just lost a crucial fight there, and now SF5 will be able to pick up Baron.
I felt that Singapore Sentinels really overcommitted to the fight over in the jungle as we look at the replay to see exactly what happened in the team fight. And we'll have Baron down on the screen as well. So let's look at what happened. Choi throwing the spells down to Vega, so he will be out of the equation here. Ben W coming in for the flank over here, pops the Dominus. And this is where everything goes wrong, because Nick's Water was just able to zone out using the Frost and using the wall as well. And Ben W now is getting way far ahead for his team, and Minas will be able to pick up a kill onto Charger using the Super Mega Death Rocket. And he has all this liberty to just shoot away, and having all the teammates to soak up damage for him, creating zone for him, that shutdown goes down to Link's Water over there as well, and Junkology with a very good catch on the D-Dan, and the wall keeping D-Dan in check. Double kill for that. That's where the team fight all just went wrong. And in the meantime, SF5 picks up the Baron for themselves, so that's going to be one more major objective being taken away from Singapore Sentinels. And look at the goal difference now, a mere 2.5k difference apart for both teams.
Look at the way the Single Percentile played that fight. They're playing against an Anivia, played by Nick's Water here. Anivia excels at people chasing. Anivias love people who chase. So do Nautilus, so do Gragas, So does Jinx. So does Annie. They excel at people that try to chase them. SGS really need to lock somebody down and burst them down. Chloe made a huge misplay in that fight. He walked onto a chomper, into a zap, and ate a Super Mega Death Rocket to the face. That eliminated him from the fight. Couldn't get the burst damage down to either. Chloe now tries to get some damage down to the next water. Venom doesn't get it initiated off, but will just slice right out of it. Chronic also made a mistake in that fight whereby he stood way too far forward after Chloe died. He got knocked out by Nautilus, and Olivia just got one burst combo down on him, and that was all he needed to take him down. Now, this tanky SF5 front line, they want to take down this tower. Chloe trying his best to get some damage down, but just not able to do so.
So the question now is, should Singapore Sentinels go for this fight?
And they need to fight. They need to try and get healthy, fight the fight under this tower, and try and pick an ace off on the SF5. But as this tower goes down, it's a terrible time for them to fight.
That's right, and Choi now coming in from the flank, but just baiting out some of the skill shots coming in from SF5 there. So the inhibitor turret goes down, and with the waves pushing up and SF5 having the Baron buff momentum, they should be able to take down the inhibitor turret quickly.
If SGS fight now at an inhib, they don't have the tower to defend it. They should have gone for this fight when the tower was still up, not while the inhib is down, not while the only inhib is there, but they're gonna go for it. Holly looks like he wants to go for the pulverize. Decides it's not a good time to do so. SF5 is slowly regenerating their health thanks to that Baron buff, and D-Dan, he's out of mana. SGS have to just let this inhibitor go or force a fight now. If they force a fight now, they wasted not using their tower, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna force the fight. Hallelujah goes in. Ben W gets bursted down instantly. Now, Juggalology is getting taken out really fast. Next water is incredibly low. Minus and Vegas are there to try and force the fight. But they're left with the support AD carry and AP carry. Only Chronix, D-Dan, and Chowie are left. I felt like SGS could have continued fighting there. That was a good fight for them, even though Ben W and Harley got bursted down.
Right, exactly. It was a fight that I would say went in their favor because, after all, SF5 still had that Baron buff in their own hands. And having that 2-for-2 trade, I would say, is a pretty good situation for them. But nevertheless, they stopped the push coming into the mid lane. They will manage to defend this inhibitor by itself. So that would stop the momentum for SF5 over here, as Shoei might be looking to get a sneaky assassination onto Minas here.
Don't tell them, Chris. Don't tell them. Here he goes.
Oh. Oh.
He could have done it when he was standing right in front of him, but you know. Sigh.
I always love to see
D-Dan though now in a lot of trouble. Here comes Hooks. He will hit the Spiderling. He will get stunned up and locked down by Jungleology, but Cocoon will say, please don't hurt me. I'm just a spider.
Don't hurt me
my
no
little
more.
Spiderlings. Critical.
Running back to the Spider Queen there.
Run back to my nest and my web. I need to run.
Well, so looks like Saigon Fantastic 5. They want to brute force their way down the mid lane, but they don't have the Baron buff anymore. Are we going to see SGS actually come out on top in the next team fight? They are still 1,000 ahead in goal. But they have to remember not to fight in this tight spaces, because that was what cost them the team fight earlier.
No, Chris, they need to fight like men.
Yeah, but they can't just fight in tight jungle spots because they have all the control. SF5 have all the space control.
I really feel like if they fight in a tight jungle spot, it actually might benefit SGS. Because SF5 will capitalize on the fact that SGS, they have a competition that needs to chase with Sivir, Alistar, Renekton. At least they need to chase them. Fighting in a small space might allow SGS to pincer somebody, as we see Minus can take it out solo. D-Dan's gonna flash in for this one. Ben W is going in deep as well, but Minus stays safe and now is getting some good damage down as Harley doesn't manage to get a kill, but Vegas can take it down. Minus gets the change from Chai, but will get taken down by Anivia there. SGS on the back foot trying to retreat for this one as the cow gets taken on the slice from Ben W will allow him to get to safety. That is a 1-for-2 trade. Chowie and Hallelujah got taken out for dragons only. They won't be able to pick up this dragon. See, I think fighting in cold space might be good for SGS because then SF5 had less of a space to run to.
Oh,
what are you doing?
Oh, and the flash away from the wall will keep him safe for the time being. But
why wall?
Jungleology chasing on.
Why would you wall your own team? I mean, you could.
I think he wanted to just wall Cryonics in, but he just flashed.
Just pew pew, and now Cryonics in a lot of trouble. The spell shield's not gonna save you there, my friend.
So it's gonna be Minos picking up the kill again. The choppers onto Ben W over there. He is not gonna be escaping from that one. Nixwater picks up the kill. And SF5 looks like they will be in the position to pick up the win over Singapore Sentinels over here, but they still need a little bit of push, a little bit of effort as DNet gets melted down by Minos over there.
Coming here from Minus, so will not be able to pick up the kill. Now he's incredibly low. The 2 chains will not be enough. Jungle is going to continue chasing down onto Hallelujah on the other hand. He thinks he's a big cow. He's going to jump in, try and stop Goni, knocks him up. Maybe going to knock him back here. Chowie dodges that. Nice pickup. We'll be able to take him down. Hallelujah now pops his ultimate. We'll be able to tank a lot of damage. Will he be able to take down Minus? Minus will not be able to go down to that turret there though.
That's right, but with so many members still alive and kicking that one, and with Jinx being upped as well, they will take out the top lane turret and the top lane inhibitor as well. Choi wants to go back to the fray. Just
try to distort back to his original position, but Nixwater was thinking 2 steps ahead there. Put that crystalline wall right where Chowie left, so that when he goes back, he runs straight into a brick wall or an ice wall, so to speak. Maybe a snowman wall, or according to Ryan, it's a minion wall.
Okay. It's a ice snowman wall
made of minions.
Yep, and look at SF5 now going right back into action.
Nixwater in a lot of trouble. He's getting knocked back, but Necronix is now under a lot of damage. That was a poor decision for Hallelujah actually to knock Nixwater into his teammate. Dina's going to come in and try and execute Minus here. He's able to do so. Now Nixwater in a lot of trouble. Benham is going to come in as the crocodile he is. Uses that dominance, the passive of his ultimate to take him down. Agnivia. He's just going to come back to life and die once again.
Looks like he's not going to be flapping anytime soon.
It's a little bit of a break that SGS needed. They needed a catch like that, but it cost them 3 people. They're now behind about 3,000 gold. SF5 looks really strong this game.
And with that huge wave that was building up in the bottom lane, the minions will do the job for SF5 over there, taking down the bottom lane turret. So 8-3 in terms of turret counts over here, and I feel like SF5 now regaining control back into this game. They should be able to find ways to close this out, and Singapore Sentinels, they really need to fight in a position where Choi can go in for a few rotations to assassinate of someone before committing in fully. And just because of the sheer crowd control capabilities coming in from both Annie as well as Anivia, it's going to be quite difficult for them to do so.
Sure is. In the meantime, we're going to see Baron is up. It's maybe a Baron dance between the 2 teams and the deciding fight between the 2 teams. SF5 really need to continue what they've been doing so far. Make the Singapore Sentinels chase them into this composition that they've built up. They have such a beefy front line, with Anivia dealing so much burst damage and consistent damage in the back line, and everyone is just protecting Jinx. Nobody can get the Jinx.
Precisely, and
both times Singapore Sentinels have managed to get damage onto Jinx, she just splashes out of there, and the rest of the team are able to protect her. And by doing that, Jinx is able to use her range with fish bones and get a lot of damage down onto the Singapore Sentinels.
Right, not to mention there's the Mikhail's Crucible from Vegas as well. So it's going to be quite a difficult fight for Singapore Sentinels to build up, and Nixwater
here though, he's getting taken out so low. There goes that Mikhail's Crucible. Zap comes out for Minus there. Super Magnetic Rocket will hit Hallelujah. Charlie will live with a sliver of health. We'll get knocked away by the casket coming out from Gragas there. Hallelujah pops that ultimate very early on. D-Dan has to repel into the sky. We'll come back into 5 members. of SF5. Dina will get taken down by Minus here. SF5 look like they want to push into the base of the Singapore Sentinels.
That's right, and now SF5 now catching Chloe once
Chloe
again.
gets caught out, has to use that distortion to try and get away. He uses the mimic to get away as well. He's solo, will get taken out by Minus, so the damage over time from Red Buff will be enough to take it down. Now Ben W's in trouble. He will get locked down for a slight amount of time, but SF5, they're going for the double Nexus turrets here. They were behind by so much gold early on, but now they're going to take down these two Nexus turrets. Up to Ben W, Carnix, and how to defend this one. Goni's getting taken down really low, but the Cow doesn't have his ultimate to stay alive. Carnix down the target. Minus for that super range of fist blows will be enough to take down Carnix from a range there, and they will be able to take down the Nexus here against the Singapore Sentinels.
So Saigon Fantastic